So for this polynomial negative 2x squared plus 5x minus 4, we're going to evaluate this expression, which is actually a very important idea in calculus. This is part of the definition of the derivative. One of the main ideas in calculus is to use a derivative. So we're going to evaluate this. First of all, it's saying for the t function, wherever there was an x, replace the x's with 2 plus h. So this is going to become one big fraction with this h in the denominator. And now substitute 2 plus h in for x. So it's going to be negative 2, and then 2 plus h is squared, plus 5 times the 2 plus h, and minus 4. Okay, this part is done, and that part's done. Now we need to say subtract, and it's quite important to put parentheses or brackets around this part because it's subtract this whole quantity t with a 2 substituted in. So now go to the t function and substitute a 2. So negative 2 and then 2 squared, 5 times 2 plus, oops, that's minus of 4. And now we need to do some algebra. For example, multiply this out, so squaring a binomial. So square the first term is a 4. Multiply the two terms, which is 2h, and then double that, 4h. And then square the h. Then distribute this 5, so it's going to be 10 plus 5h minus a 4. And then subtract what's in the brackets, and the whole thing is divided by h. So what have we got in the brackets? We've got a 2 squared, which is 4, times a negative 2, so that's negative 8. There's a 5 times 2, which is positive 10, and then this subtract 4. And now we need to continue with the algebra over here. Distribute negative 2. So there's negative 8, negative 8h, negative 2h squared. And then if I start combining like terms, there's a 10 minus 4 is 6, and then plus a 5h, minus what's in the brackets? Well, with a negative 8 and a negative 4, that would be negative 12. Plus a 10 makes negative 2. So a common mistake is people don't put these brackets, and consequently they don't have the negative applying to the negative, which is going to be a positive 2. Continuing to combine like terms, we've got negative 2h squared. For the h terms, there's negative 8 and positive 5 of them, so that's negative 3 h's. And then for the numbers, we've got negative 8 and positive 6 is negative 2. And finally over here, these two negatives create a positive 2. We've got a couple more steps, and that is these 2's are going to cancel. So there's negative 2h squared minus 3h divided by h. And each of the three terms has an h in it, so we could divide everything by an h. One of these h's will get cancelled, leaving 2h. This h will get cancelled, leaving minus 3. And this h will get cancelled, so it's no longer a fraction. So at first, it looks like there's going to be a great deal of work, and that it's going to be a mess forever. But the work isn't that bad, and at the end, it simplifies very nicely.